Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Mixed Mowers. In today's episode we're going to be looking at a mower that it came in last year some point. I did a fuel cap fix on it which is broken. I did a carburetor clean, some other bits and pieces, and this belongs to a gentleman who, I don't know if he uses it commercially, not quite sure. He rang me up during my Toro video and he said it's very easy to pull over, despite the fact there's no spark plug in it. Not quite sure what's happened there. I don't know is the truth of the matter. I don't know what's up with the machine. So he's brought it in. Can he get it running for me? I want it by Monday. Okay, today is Thursday, so I've got time to do it, so I thought I'd get on and do it today. And so he can't get it to run for me. It might just be literally put fuel, put spark plug and away it goes. It could be as simple as that. It could be, but I don't know. We shall see. The fuel tank is completely empty, so I need to find a new cap for it, and then we go from there. But as I say, I have no idea what's up with it. It was a bit vague in the description as to what was wrong with it. If this is the first time you're watching Mixed Mowers, hit the subscribe button, whack the old bell, set notifications to all, that way you'll tell one done a video or two of them on my Saturday night weekly live stream, which starts at 6:30 PM UK time. But before we get down and dirty, got myself a Mend It Man t-shirt. I did mention it in my last video. Got myself a Mend It Man t-shirt from my old mate Mend It Man. His wife Laura, she's now got a t-shirt printing machine, and she's going to be busy now making Mixed Mowers t-shirts left, right and centre as per my orders, so that'd be great. So go over to check out Mend It Man. He's a super friend of mine, a very dear friend of mine, and he works very hard at his channels, both Mend It Man and Mowers and Stuff. And he does all sorts from camper van repairs, Land Rovers, different types of machineries, log splitters and vintage scooter bikes and lawnmowers, and he has a go at anything, you know what I mean? So go and check him out and let him know that Mixed Mowers is sending it over to the Mend It Man channel. He's trying to boost his channel up over to 1,000 subscribers. Go and check him out and give him a little hand, because it will be much appreciated. So without further ado, let's get down and dirty and let's have a look at this Sovereign lawnmower and just see what's up with it. Alright, so here it is, a little Sovereign SV150. I do need to put a new fuel cap on. This is the one I did actually plastic weld, I think. I plastic welded it. I think I did. But it has got some Aerodite on there too, which I wouldn't have Aerodited it, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. I think I might have plastic welded it. I can't quite remember. It does look like I did, but it should have held. Did I not? Do you know what? I don't think I did. No, this hasn't been plastic welded. I thought I did do one on one of these before for the gentleman. Might be someone else. I do different mowers every day of the week. So it's missing just a few bits and pieces on there. A few bits and pieces are hanging off. You will be hearing an engine in the background running, which is a Toro machine, but I've just done a video on. That's on its test, and that just goes to prove I do tests on all my machines. I don't just say I do and leave it, because it's a commercial guy and it's got to be running right for him. So just nipping behind you, I'm going to pick myself up a nice brand new NGK B2 LM spark plug, if I have any left. I think actually there might be some on the bench to the other side. I think I've got one over here, a brand new one. Sure I have. Sure I have, baby. Or am I out? I don't think I'm out. I did have a brand new one here. I know I did. No, I think I'm actually out of brand new spark plugs on B2 LMs. There's an NGK BPR 6ES there, so I've got plenty of good second-hand ones, which I keep for just purposes, for just experimenting. So most of these plugs are what come out of machines that are fully serviced. This machine is not in for a full service. So I'm just going to put that Champion in. I have actually run out of NGKs. Check out my Amazon wish list, people. NGK spark plugs needed. B2LMs. Alright, so that goes in there. So we've got a spark plug in. HT lead on. Have we got any oil in the machine? Yeah, there's a bit in there. So it's not in for service. Even if you recommend it, lots of people don't want them serviced. Even if you recommend it. So no fuel cap, but I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of fuel in. And this is my brand spanking new E10 fuel with the ethanol removed. with octane booster in it. So I'm just going to run a bit of fuel in there. I'll try and find a cap for that. Let me go and find another SV150 engine. I've got one just here. That should fit it, methinks. Let me try and fit that. And my Toro is absolutely running away. I've got a new fuel cap there. That go on there? Look at that. That's made for that. Perfect job. So new fuel cap. Let's give it a prime, see what happens. It may just jump into life. It does like a prime very well, if any. Let's give it a pull, see what happens. It did say it was very easy to pull over. Well, there's compression there, but I don't think we're getting any. I don't think we're getting any fuel up. Is what I think's happening. So, to test the theory, carburetor spray in the throat of a carburetor. Give that a pull, see what happens. So we have ignition, we have spark, we have combustion, but we have no fuel. So that's telling me carburetor clean. Yep, so let's have a carby off and we'll see what inside the carburetor looks like. Okay, rock and rolling then. So we have a fuel issue by the looks of it. He said it was too easy to pull over, so I'm not quite sure what he means by that. It may be that he tried pulling it with no spark plug in, but I don't think he's that sort of bloke. So first I want to do, I want to remove this fuel line. I want to get a set of hemostats as well, because I want to plug the fuel off. I also want to make sure I'm actually getting fuel down as far as the carby. Fuel line is not much cop. Oh, got a gasket there. So let's remove the fuel out. So we're getting a decent fuel flow down from the fuel tank to the carburetor, which tells me we've got an issue with the carby itself. The fuel line is quite tough and quite solid. So let me get this fuel removed from the machine and then I'll come back to you in 2 ticks. Okay, so all the fuel's now been drained from the tank, so we're happy with that. It may just drip a little tiny bit, but just put a rag underneath it. We're now going to remove a carby, and we've got a little tiny primer bulb hose to remove also off this machine. Very, very gently. I just want to test if that's priming by putting your finger over the end and priming. And if you cover it and you can't squeeze it, then release your thumb, you'll hear the primer bulb go down. So the priming system is working. We're happy with that. So tip the carburetor around, like so. Over to the bench, quick little look, see what's like with this carburetor. Right, carby's on the bench. Let's just move his spark plugs out of the way. They're the wrong ones. And my tray's still dirty from the Toro video, so a quick little wipe off. We don't want to be seeing what's coming out of this carburetor. Now with the E10 fuel being out, you're going to be seeing a lot more carburetor common faults. So it's going to be quite a common thing. Crack the carb. I'm guessing it's going to be dry in here. A little bit of something coming out the bottom. So nothing, a very small amount, little tiny bits of rust speck there already. And that looks like water to me. Bit of water in there. Carburetor bowl is completely dry. So we're getting no delivery from the needle and seat, I would say. And the reason we're not is that the needle is actually stuck. I lift the float, the needle's not moving at all. You see that? The needle's not even moving. Okay. So that's the reason. So take the float pin out, take that out. I want to get a pair of long nose pliers if I got them to try and retrieve that needle. Get a pair of long nose. So this tells me this machine hasn't been run for a while. There goes the needle. Yeah, very gummed up inside here, very green in colour, and we have a good flow. So even just by doing that, you should now be able to put that back in. In fact, there's a bit missing here. That little plunger, that should move up and down. I think we'll give a bit of a clean first before I start causing accusations. So this is the LHP 16 carburetor. So I've got a bit of noise coming out when I lift the float, but not a lot. And see that float is still not running as well as it should do. So what we're going to do is just move you guys out of the way a touch, just so I can get my carburetor tray out. And I want a little bit of wire wool. That's a bit coarse, that is. I'm a bit short on my wire wool as well. I've been using that all up as well. And I want my drill. Let's grab that. I'm going to keep an eye on my battery levels, because my battery is due to expire quite soon. I've already done a video already. And I'm after a Q-tip, or we call them earbuds over here in the UK. And all I'm going to do is just put an earbud into a drill. A very, very small amount of GT85 fluid into there. And then turn my drill nice and fast. And slowly insert that cotton bud in and out of that seat. Now that's an all brass seat in there, so you do no damage. But all we're doing is just looking to clean that up. So I'm going to push it quite relatively hard, just to get right down into the seat area. And you can see the green coming off of there. But that now looks nice and clean in there. I'll clean the walls up best I can. That looks good. I now want to get a little tiny nylon brush, a bit more GT85, and clean up the outside walls. And all we're doing is just making sure that needle can actually move inside this orifice just here. A little tiny push through with some cleaner. It's gone all the way now, it's gone lovely, that has. So we are getting a bit of gunk coming off, look. See that little bit of gunk there, look. Now, I've got a sneaky feeling to use this machine semi-commercially is what I think. Which is not right. And you can see how far that's gone in. See that little tiny tip there? It's gone right inside that needle seat. I'm going to turn it around now, put the other side in. A bit more GT85 goes in. I'm going to block off the fuel line on the intake so that GT85 stays in there. Tip it over, and we're going to go again. And again, you can see a little tiny rise that's on the end of it where it's trying to get into that seat. That's good. We've got a little tiny bit of crud I want to try and remove from there. So that's good. We've got a main jet to remove also. Where's my main jet screwdriver? I think that's actually, I've got stuff everywhere, people. I've been working. I have been so busy. It is a bit like unorganised chaos in here at the moment. I have been so busy repairing machines, just trying to keep people's machines going. You know, it's not an easy thing to do when you're sort of relied upon. It's not easy. I mean, Bruce, my mate Bruce, he's got such a different system to me, you know. I don't know if he's busier than me, if he's not busier than me, but he's always tidy. But you know, I've got limited space too, which you got to sort of take into account. So I'm going to remove the main jet also, because if the bottom of the float was in that condition, the chances are the needle is going to be no better. I'm going to try and get the emulsion tube out as well if we can, if it'll come out. They don't always. Cool, that's right in there too. I don't think the emulsion tube is going to come out. Can't even see it moving. Let's just check condition of that main jet. It's got a little hole in there, but it doesn't look brilliant. So I'm just going to rim that main jet out again. Let's go up one. So my Toro is still running in the background, and it has not missed a beat, not a beat. So I think we have actually fixed that. Go up another one, I think. Yeah, there you go. That'll do it. It's quite a big jet on there, that is. Oh, that's a bigger hole. Cool, see, we can climb through that. Happy with that. I'm going to go straight way down through the emulsion tube, best I can, and then force it back through this way. One through there. Lovely. How are we doing on charge? Yeah, we're all right. All this crud coming out, look, all that crud. That one got it. It didn't like that. I think the rest of the carb actually is not too bad. So we put the main jet back in, despite the fact the emulsion tube didn't come out. In goes the jet. Just want to have a quick look at this this needle. I'm going to get a little bit of wire wool. This is a bit coarse for what I really want. Really, I want the thinner stuff. I've used it all. You might find something like that on my Amazon wish list if you had a look. Yeah, it's going to be too coarse. That's too coarse for anything. So I'm going to use a little nylon brush, and all I'm going to do is just literally just give this needle best I can just a bit of a happy birthday, just to try and get some of this green gunk off. I'll get most of it. That'll do. That'll do you. Right, so now by the power of Grayskull we can put the needle back in, and that needle should now just plop in there quite happily. We can put the float back on top. We can put the retaining float pin back in. Push it all back together. Like so. In you go, float. That's it. Quick little rinse off. Get rid of any gunk that might just be lurking. And now, tip upside down, now you can see this float needle here is actually now moving up and down as it should do. Are you seeing that? Yeah? Oh, it's stuck there, look. There it goes. It's going. Alright. So now we're actually getting a bit of a flow. No air. Air. So it is still a little bit sticky. It is still a little tiny bit sticky. I don't want to put nothing too hefty down in there to drive it out. I might put a little tiny bit of sandpaper in there just to clean it off and sand it as well. Let me get it done, I'll be back in 2 ticks. So actually what I have got, let me just move the camera down a touch. What I have actually got is some Scotch-Brite or some scouring pads, is what we call it over here in the UK. So all I'm going to do is just very thinly, just have that narrow enough so it will actually fit inside the area. Now people will probably say, oh, don't stick nothing in there, Mick, you'll never get it back out. Okay, hang on, just hold up, is what I say to you guys. And all I'm going to do is jam that in the hole. Just try and feed it in there, a bit of WD-40 or spray, just to help it out. And literally, just going to wind that in there, and that will just sort of scrub the sides up, just a touch. That's the idea. You see where I'm going with it, can't you? You can see where I'm going with it. Not as easy as I say it is. I've got to do the wall of this tube, and I've also got to do the actual needle as well. So that can go in. In it goes, or what nearly went in then. It's a bit fiddly. There it goes. That's gone in. There it goes. Lush. Rinse that out. And then with my my float, my needle, all I'm going to do is spray a bit of stuff on here and literally give it a scrub. You can use some wet and dry paper. Just try and get some of this smeg off of here, just so it doesn't get stuck. A bit just there I want to get rid of. Yep, Toro's still running. Oh, that's a bit better. That's a bit cleaner than what it was beforehand. Let's give that a little bit of a rinse off. And now we go again. Yeah, that's got him. Yeah, it's moving lush now. Yeah, that's moving. Doesn't get it every time, but I guess with fuel pushing it up as well, it's going to help. Right, so I've had a real good clean now, best I can, and that's about the best I'm going to get it. I mean, it was stuck beforehand, and it now seems to be working. I'm guessing when the fuel gets underneath it as well, pushes that needle up. It's actually the float that stops the needle from coming up any further when the fluid hits it. So you see it actually is floating there now. Tip it upside down. Yeah. So that's shut off. That's flow. Yeah. Flow. Off. Flow. Yeah, that's it. I think we got it. Right, so now what's next to do is clean the bowl up. It's just a bit gummy in there. Give it a clean, put that back together. I'll meet you by the machine once I've done so, and then we'll go to refit the carburetor. Right, carb is put back together, and this all seems to be working. The throttle flap is working as well, which is good. I seem to remember having to turn this carburetor up a touch because it was mucking about. I might be thinking of a complete different machine, and quite often I am. So now I can put the priming pipe back onto there, and now I'm going to check inside. Oh well, hello. Put some fuel on first, Mick. That'll help. I'm going to snip a little bit off of the front of that fuel pipe, because I'm sure as I took it off, it had a little tiny split in it. So So I'm not going to remove a lot of it because there's not a lot to play about with, but just enough just to give me a good fixing. So fuel pipe on, and then the hose clip goes on as well, which are easier said than done on these little things because you've got to push them on. Come on, baby. Oh. Why do I make these things so difficult? Get on there. You can never get hold of them just right. Excuse hands. Right, that's on. So that's all on there. That one goes onto there. We've got the gasket to put on, which is homemade by myself. Goes that way on. Breather pipe to go on. I think the biggest issue with this fella is I think either him or somebody else has a little play, is what I think, you know, which is fair enough, it's their machine, right? But I'd much rather people just leave stuff alone, say, yeah, it's broke, can you fix it? I'll come and fix it for you. Crankcase breather. I mean, you know exactly where you're going from, but so many people, they,
Hey,
yes, honey?
are you able to take Josh to work tomorrow for 11?
Yeah, that'd be fine, sweetheart. Yeah, not a problem. That'd be fine. Right, so now we have fuel pipe on, primer on, and what have you. Carburetor cleaned. Let's put a bit more juice back in here then, because there wasn't any. We'll test for fuel leaks. Hopefully we won't get any. So plenty of fuel goes in. Spilt a little tiny bit. And that's that E10 ethanol free I put in there. Do the old fuel cap up. No fuel leaks presenting, which is good. I want to see if I can see it priming. Yep, we're priming, which means we're getting fuel now up to the throat of the carburetor where we want it, which is good. I'll go that way around me. That's only in for repairs, not in for service, people, just remember that. And this bloke wanted this machine back for Monday. Today is Thursday. It came in 25 minutes ago, plus. And that Toro is still running. That's been running for about 45 minutes, nearly an hour now. That's been running. I have to go and check the fuel in a bit. And it won't be given back until tomorrow afternoon because I want to make sure it starts first thing in the morning with no issues. So carburetor's now been cleaned. Fuel cap's been put on as well. I've got to put that little tiny, I don't know what I've done with it now. I didn't find that. Little tiny metal thing that goes on a pull cord. Here it is here, I've got it here. For the pull cord, I'll put it on in a bit, no worries. I'll put it in my pocket, don't forget. So I'll go for a fire up, see if it starts, see what it do, and we'll go from there. Okay, now you've got a bit of a noise coming because I've got a Toro running at the moment, which is still on its test. So carburetor's been done, as I say, all been put back together, and it's priming, which is good. Let's try and start it then. It says 3 pumps, I'll give them about 5. Dead man in. Lovely. Start off its own back without being primed. Yeah. Right. Another one done. Wowzers. Good, good. So, SV150 Sovereign now all up and running. He said it had no compression, it was too easy to pull over. Not quite sure where he was going with that. It came with no spark plug in it. I think he said he put a new spark plug in. He bought a new spark plug, but then took it back out. So I don't know. Well, I've got no idea. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm not quite sure what happened there with regards to that. But of course, it had no compression with no spark plug in it. But obviously, that was never going to start with that float being stuck the way it is. So now the machine's had a carburetor clean. I had to pay particular attention to the needle and float system because that was all dirty. But now it's all up and running. I shall give it another test in about an hour, see if it starts and primes and does what it should do. It's not going to be a running issue, it's going to be a starting issue. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to go back to it and double check it, check for fuel leaks and see if it starts tomorrow morning. If it does, then the bloke can have his machine back. He wants it back by Monday. Today is Thursday, he'll have it back Friday. He's happy. So super happy with that. And the Toro, I'm going to go and shut it off in a minute. It's been running for about an hour. And that has not missed a beat for about an hour. It's run beautifully, so I think we have solved that one as well, so super happy. Don't forget to check out Mend It Man's channel. Go over there and tell him that Mixed Mowers has sent you. Go and check him out and tell Mend It Man to get his hair cut. That'd be a good comment to put in there. So hopefully you enjoyed this little video of Mixed Mowers. If you did, hit the old subscribe button, whack the old bell, set notifications to all. That way you'll be told one, done a video, or two, I'm on my Saturday night weekly live stream, which starts at 6:30 PM UK time. I look forward to the next episode of Mixed Mowers very soon. But until then, people, don't forget, much more importantly, take it easy.